Good afternoon, sports fans. Welcome to Salem, Oregon. This is the Capital City Soccer Complex, and this is the second annual Oregon Open Cup semifinals as we work our way to a champion. We have two games today. Our first game coming up here at 2 o'clock. It is PDX FC versus Epuerto Perrones. PDX FC won last week. They beat IPS 4-0, and Epuerto Perrones beat Epuerto United 1-0 on a goal by Jesus Rodriguez. At 4 o'clock, we'll have the OVF Alliance. They won last week's game 5-1, and they will play Epuerto Paisas. And they had probably made the most exciting game last week in the quarterfinals when they beat Oregon Football Club 5-4. It was 4-4 at the end of regulation. We went to penalty kicks, and Paisas won that one 5-4 on penalty kicks. In fact, we had 10 penalty kicks in that, and it was the last miss that decided that game as Paisas advanced to today at 4 o'clock. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Hall. I'll be doing the play-by-play on these two games. Working with me, my broadcast partner, Steve Storlie. Steve is a former international soccer player, former NCAA head coach, worked with us last week, and looking forward to today. This is a production of Oregon Sports Beat. Our executive producer is Ryan Johnson. And Steve, you've been working down on the field, I know, getting information. I know one of the things I left out, your son, of course, plays for PDX, number 21, Keller Storlie.
Right.
So
right.
You've talked to both coaches.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting matchup. And Dave, thanks for the help last week as I learn how to broadcast. One of the things that I think our fans should be considering is this match is going to be a lot of young players are coming together for the first time from Puerto, and there's some interesting, colorful notes on their group. It's a group of kids from around the state that the coach puts together and sponsors to try and give them experiences. Younger group, a lot of high school seniors as well as junior college players, and they know that they're matched up as an underdog against PDX FC, who has a number of players that are looking to aspire to go on to semi-professional or professional endeavors. One being Daniel Saez, Keller Storlie. You mentioned my son is looking to try and break through in Spain. He's going on trials this summer in a couple weeks with Getafe, a La Liga club at the U19 level, and then you have a number of college seniors that are Division I players at Seattle U. I think we want to watch the goalkeeper today. Zach Nelson's made some big saves in the last match we did together. But talking to both coaches, they're excited. It's a beautiful day, as you can see, very different than last week, which is about 10 degrees cooler, a little slight wind. This is, other than the face masks, is optimum weather for a soccer player. And I think we're going to see two different styles as we go forward. One that's confident and trying to control the game, and the other that's looking to sit in, and the young group at Puerto trying to attack on the counter and see if they can catch the older veterans off balance.
PDX had 4 goals last week in their 4-0 win. Goals scored by Miles Sanchez, Daniel Saez, Musa Misa, and Sardinia.
Right. So what you had is just so many attacking threats coming out of PDX FC. When you have the gift of Daniel Saez, 6'5", Cuban international, you throw any ball in there and you're going to get some type of havoc or opportunities. Nick Scardino plays at the University of Washington. He is an absolute threat coming off the left wing. Loves to attack and try and break down players. Sometimes do it himself, but that threatens a back line. It's good to have a player that is going to go and keep their back line off balance, attack at angles, and he's not afraid to break the other team down. But again, there's many different goal scorers that could come out of this. One we're going to see today is Nick Evans. Nick has been an attacking threat. He's played D1. He's now headed to where is he going to play? Warner. And I look to see him score 15, 20 goals. You can't miss him. He's a redhead out there. As a former ginger, when I had hair, I'm always betting on the redheaded guy. But Nick will play underneath the team. He's different than last week's striker for PDX FC that was more of a hold it up and run himself. Nick likes to get the ball, play other players, and then try and go find a little hidden seam when no one sees him. So it'll be interesting to see how he does this. I think you'll see plenty of minutes with him.
Both these teams had shutouts last week, but very different games. PDX 4-0 in a game that was actually ended a little bit earlier. Perrones 1-0 on a goal early on by Jesus Rodriguez. both goalkeepers with shutouts, so they come in here on a hot streak.
Yeah, the goalkeeper for Epuerto is their captain. He's the guy that their coach said leads on and off the field. That's going to be very important that he keep his head up when I think PDX is going to challenge them, and that he sends a message to the team, hey, we're in this in every situation from beginning to the end of the game. He said he's a great kid on and off the field, which is very important. You have some glue when you're putting a new team together.
I spent some time with him before the game.
Okay.
Jose Ochoa is his name, and
okay.
He actually he said, hey, I'm going to tell you who's going to start for us today. And he said, okay, so I actually have the starters for Perrones. Osvaldo Barajas, number 2. Taichi Salcamizu is number 5. Number 6 is Chara Salvador. Number 32, Chuy Lopez. Number 37, Pedro Hernandez. Number 38, Benji Garcia. 39 is Iro Aguirre. 36 is Miguel Lopez. 33, Nate Shealy, who played very well last week. And the keeper, number 00, is Jose Ochoa. We do have some information we want to pass on to you as we get ready for the game. One of that is Northwest Futsal Derby. The first annual Northwest Futsal Derby is August the 15th in Portland. The best futsal teams in Oregon and Washington square off in an outdoor setting to crown the regional champion. For more info, go to www.oregonsportsbeat/NWFD.
Okay, so a couple things. One you mentioned, I think some keys to the game. If we start with Puerto, they like to play a 4-4-2. So anytime you're building a team that hasn't played together, that's a really simple structure that players can just walk into. It provides you lots of defensive cover, and it's a really easy structure for players to bolt on that haven't played together. I'll be watching today Taichi Sukumize. He comes from Tokyo, Japan. He's been here 1 year. He said he loves the Pacific Northwest. He likes to hike. He's going down to Lane Community College. This will be his second year at Lane, but he said he loves the hiking, he loves the mountains, but more importantly, he loves our cheeseburgers.
So do I.
So, can't go wrong with that. I asked him what he thought of our sushi. He said, I haven't tried it. It's probably, but outside of that, I think that, they're going to look to play through the midfield and, like I said, catch PDX on the counter. PDX on the opposite side is going to play a more attacking style of 4-3-3. And in the 4-3-3, what you're trying to do is play through the back. Zach Nelson will start that offense, your keeper, who plays at Seattle U. I thought last week he did a great job of not only defensively, offensively, being patient, trusting his wing players, throwing the ball out to them, and then playing through Daniel Saez, who is your Cuban international, 6'5". He can handle the ball at his feet. And then, they'll be looking to break lines. I do have their starting lineup or close to it if you want me to go ahead and call that out. So we'll see Zach in the nets. Big redhead, another ginger out there. You've got on probably the left-hand side, Andrew Nunez. That'll be a switch for him. He played right back last week. He's not a true lefty, but he's very, very handy and comfortable on the ball. You're going to probably see Anthony Iola in the center back partnering with Keller Storlie. I think you'll see both of those guys trying to play through the lines and offering up themselves. I would look for Keller to play and connect with the 6, Daniel Saez more often. And then Moya Diaz playing out on the right back. Coming in the middle, I already suggested as your holding midfielder is Daniel Saez. We'll look for him to sort of define the tempo with partnering with Jesse. And Jesse did a great job last week of playing the number 10 and really sort of controlling the game. Lastly, I'm missing is a number 8, which is your other center midi.
Lorenzo Lopez.
I think you're going to see either he or Lorenzo Lopez may be out. I think you're going to see possibly who played center back in previous games. He may be moved up. It'll be Jesse Garcia and I think Jose Benavides. I think that's how you say his name, if I'm not mistaken. On the right-hand wing, up in the right-hand wing side, you will probably see Gabe Parrish. Left-hand side, Nick Scardino, really coming in off the left. And he's a right-footed player looking to attack and score goals with his right foot. And then it looks like Nick Evans, from what we're looking at, is going to start up top.
One of our great sponsors today is Oregon Collision Center. We want to thank them for their supporting the Oregon Open Cup for the past 2 years. Locally owned, trained, certified, and professionals that are operating in Forest Grove. Thank you, Carlos, and thank you, Oregon Collision Center. Just about ready to get this one underway. Referee headed out. Thanks for joining us here on Oregon Sports Beat. By the way, if you want to follow up on us on our schedule of upcoming events and get information about the championship game of this tournament, you can go to OregonSportsBeat.com. All right, everybody out, ready to go. We're going to have a little bit of trouble here. Both these teams came to play today in black uniforms. And so Perrones has put orange warm-up jerseys over the top so you can't see their numbers. So you'll just have to bear with us on this. PDX, of course, in the black jerseys with the white numbers. They will move from our right to our left. Perrones moving from our left to our right.
And right away you see the confidence of Daniel Saez. He plays the ball with the guy on his back, relax, and just starts the offense by spreading it through the wings.
Jose Ochoa, number 00, down there in goal for Perrones. Back there in goal for PDX, that is Zach Nelson.
So right out of the gate, you can see PDX FC is picking their spots. Nice ball by Daniel Saez, good idea. Just looking to spread the ball left and right and pick and probe at this other team. And I think what you're going to see is that will be their sort of style the whole game, where they're going to play through the lines, play through Daniel Saez or through their center middies, be patient, look to capitalize on their experience and technical ability.
You can't miss Saez. He's 26 and he's 6'5". He's from Cuba. Came to the United States.
Yeah, he was a Cuban international and actually defected in the Gold Cup. I spoke with him earlier in the before the match. He said he's got some offers down at Reno, which is a USL professional team. But he's right now sort of picking and still doing different trials. Looks as if the referee is sending him off, unfortunately, for having maybe no shin guards. Or
Alex!
Oh, yeah, that's what the referee just indicated. He doesn't have any shin guards on.
That's fine. The referee told me you didn't have a mask. You're good.
Oh, or a mask. Nope, shin guards.
No,
The referee pointed to shin guards.
Referee may tapped on both of his shins, so Saez comes off. He's got to put on some shin guards. Goal kick coming up. This is Zach Nelson.
So I've got to compliment these players playing, even communicating as we're doing on the broadcast right now with masks on and running. Average player at this level will run somewhere between 4 to 9 miles. And, in 80-degree heat with a mask, not being able to breathe, it's not easy. It's uncomfortable. It's something new you've never done.
I get tired driving 9 miles.
Yeah. So here we go. You're seeing the center backs isolating Daniel Saez and just playing right through his feet, even though he's in traffic and he's got pressure. And that's the confidence they have in him. I would too if I was out there. And they're going to just take their time and build. I think you're going to see in this 4-4-2 of Epuerto, they're going to sit back and just hold the fort and see if they can capitalize on a mistake almost right there that you just saw. There it is by PDX FC.
Your son came in the second half last week. He's starting this week. Is that a big deal for him?
I think that, he's new to the group and he's trying to establish a position, but also be respectful of the guys that were there before him. And I talked to the coach, Luke. He said, look, he's got confidence because they do want to control the tempo. And he said, look, Keller didn't give a ball away all last week. So
all right in front of us. By the way, Steve,
yeah.
If you take one step back while we're doing this, we actually have a monitor set up. You can see right behind us there what's going out on the screen.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I would tell you for the viewers at home, last week we had sun broadcasting right into our eyes and right into the camera. I hope they're having a better experience this week with
I think so.
Not glaring. Looking at the monitor, that's what I'm seeing.
I hung my arms over the ledge here, and you can see they were burnt. It took me a week to recover from it.
Well, as a former redhead, I don't tan, I rust, and
right.
I try to connect my freckles.
Right.
So I'm sporting sunblock 70 today.
My dad didn't go by his name; he went by Red.
Oh, well, that was my grandpa.
All right, Perrones tries to get forward, but PDX FC is back.
So the tempo is both teams are feeling each other out. They're trying to figure out who they're playing against and what they're doing and why. The pace has been usually the beginning of a game. It's usually pretty brisk. This has been a very casual pace as far as, you know, if I'm watching.
Perrones with the free kick right at midfield. Hard to get the ball over Saez there. He was fronting who the ball was intended for, and at 6'5", he just towered over him.
Yeah, that's on the really tall end in soccer. Normally, as a number 6 is going to play up top as a striker, as a center back, and he's played some in both of those positions.
You know, at 6'5" in Cuba, I would have thought they would try to make him a high hurdler.
Well, you know, you've seen Cuba produce for such a small island so many amazing athletes in so many different sports.
Exactly.
You know?
I remember Teofilo Stevenson, the boxer who won the Olympic gold medal, and Sotomayor, who had the high jump record for a while.
So you're watching PDX just sort of play through the lines. They're trying to break that final third, being patient, taking the ball side to side, trying to pick out a winger. Guys like Scardino, they can, you know, isolate a player, beat him into the corner, and then what they're trying to do is really throw a cross in to target some of these slashing forwards. That's what they did last week. They were successful. And
let's see, Scardino's number is 18 right there. Yeah.
Nick Scardino. He played at the University of Washington. Portland Timbers Academy project. Very, very pacey, very aggressive, not afraid, and very confident. I like where
he had a goal last week too.
Yep, I like where Coach Babson has him.
We're just underway. This is the first semifinal game. We'll follow this up with a game at 4 o'clock, and the other two semifinalists, OVF Alliance and Epuerto Perrones, winners in the quarterfinals last week. We're at the Capital City Soccer Complex. The Timbers U23 team plays here, or practices here. There's Saez with the ball. Sends it back to Storlie. I'm sorry. Storlie sends it back into play.
So again, there you go. See Saez just slowing the tempo, saying we're going to win possession, we're going to clean it up, and we're going to play back and find the safe player. And now they're going to see him build out through the wings. There's that long ball by Saez. Beautiful ball. Gabe Parrish is the other attacking winger from Campbell University.
Parrish on the right wing, number 17. Well, let's see, we haven't had a shot on goal here yet. 0-0 our score.
So it looks like Nick Evans is going to step up, and a coach is going to let either Jesse step up and hit this. He's sort of their free kick specialist, but if Nick Evans, your striker, wants to have a go at it, that's not uncommon. He's a guy that likes to strike balls. I look for him to bend this ball, probably number 23, try and pick a corner out. He's on his right foot.
There's the kick, and deflected by the goalie.
Nice strike, made a keeper make a save. That's what you want out of your strikers, is sometimes those are dropped right back into the penalty spot, and another player can step in and clean them up. But results in a corner, which is a good idea. Now you've got Daniel Saez, and you can see Keller Storlie, 6'2", Daniel Saez. Those are going to be their target men.
First corner kick of the game coming up for PDX. There it is, a low driving kick in the middle, headed away by Perrones.
So here's that quick counter they're trying to achieve. You know, they defended well there at Puerto. Now they're trying to catch him on the break.
Nice drop pass that time by Saez.
Well, that could have been a foul there. I'm not sure. That looked like he got him, but PDX is doing a great job of getting the ball wide. There's Nick Evans out there trying to take a guy on. He's going to beat him and try and go himself. Oh, he slips a nice little ball through. Tough luck.
Goalie comes out and falls on that. Jose Ochoa. No score. First of 2 semifinal games here today from Capital City Soccer Complex.
So, Dave, you were telling me you've actually broadcasted how many sports games in your career?
About 1,000, about maybe 400 football games, maybe 300 basketball games. The rest a little bit of soccer and baseball, softball.
So it's safe to assume you like sports.
You know, when I was a kid, all I wanted to be was a Major League Baseball player, and then in college playing baseball, I tore my ACL, and
Ooh.
it was kind of the end of that dream.
And what was your position?
Second base.
Oh, boy, so you were able to cover the field.
I was one of those good field no-hit.
Hey, defense wins championships, right?
Right.
So here you're seeing PDX just taking their time, picking them out, trying to get Perrones to make a mistake. Perrones is doing a good job of putting, if you notice, if you look at this from above, you're looking at sort of 10 men in front of the ball. This is a pretty classical style of defending. You put 2 lines in front, you just make them make mistakes, and then you try and counter them through the high player that they have up between the 2 center backs. This is going to result in a free kick. Again, you're going to be targeting Nick Evans, Daniel Saez, and then I would also keep an eye on Gabe Parrish.
All right, here comes the free kick. Wall set up in front. There's a kick to the outside and too far to the right. Couldn't connect on the incoming player.
So Jesse Garcia was a little slow on that release, and that caused Nick Evans to have to hold up his run. Otherwise, he would have probably been offsides. But again, you know, they're looking to, when a team locks in like this, if once you break that ice and get 1 goal, if you're Luke Babson, the coach, what you're saying is, okay, we're going to be patient. Let's control the tempo, control the game with our experience, and wait for us. Let's not get too spread out, throwing too many guys forward. If you notice, his center backs are staying nice and deep and home, not taking too many risks, and they're going to bet on their quality and experience to try and pick a goal. Whereas with Puerto, they're hoping, hey, we can catch you, maybe throw one out into our target striker and get some runners off, or get a set piece or something like that. And that's exactly what the coaches told me before the match. Is the coach from Puerto, he's Peruvian, 22 years coaching, works in the tech field, and Puerto is a IT company that's sponsoring all these young men.
Right. And on goal and a shot missed.
Great job by that keeper to come out 1v1. That should have been a goal. And to stop Jesse from scoring that showed a lot of heart.
Steve, you know, Jose Ochoa has been somewhat busy down here. On the other hand, look at Zach Nelson down here. He hasn't faced anything.
Well, it's good because he's redheaded and he doesn't want to. He's
inside and can't get anything in, wide to the right.
So Zach Nelson's playing as another defender off his line, just trying to stay engaged, communicate.
Right.
And he's going into his senior year. He's got just a couple credits at Seattle University. So I think he's looking to gain just some more playing time, prep for his Seattle University Division I season, where the goalkeeper for Puerto, he's had to make already just it's the first.
Right, he's been busy.
Very, very busy. He's been up for the task. He's made some great saves and kept this game even.
Perrones with the ball. No score in this game.
Oh, great tackle by Jesse Garcia.
It's hard not to watch Signs in this game, Size, because he's just so big and talented.
Well, what I've been most impressed with his size, he's got great feet. And usually a big guy like that is a little awkward on the ball. He's very, very nimble and technical for a guy at 6'5". You would normally think that guy is just sort of, you know, a big block but he moves like he's, and then this is why I think you're going to see him in the USL. As he gets more fit, that's just such a gift to have a big guy like that for defensively, offensively. It's not something common you see in soccer.
Perrones trying to figure out some way to get the ball forward. They do now. Storlie kicks it back to the goalie.
So Zach Nelson taking his time, playing through the back line, trusting his defenders. That is, you know, that's a very experienced keeper who says, okay, look, I'm not going to panic with the ball at my feet. Normally you'd see keepers sometimes blast it out. And if you look, they're spreading the ball. There's a nice through ball over the top and trying to pick out their wingers and get guys in what are called two versus ones. Or here you go, there's a 2 versus 1.
The give and go. A shot knocked away.
Great run to the byline by Scardino. Nice build out of PDX FC. That ball coming back is very hard if you're a defender to defend it. You're running back to your own goal, and so what happens, Dave, is a guy blasts it at your shins, and you almost, you know, it's hard not to score an own goal. They did a great job, Puerto there, of defending.
Corner kick coming up for PDX FC. PDX sets up. Ochoa in goal. Higher kick this time off to the right. And
now that looked like a goal. It bounced around.
I think that's what everybody's yelling is that first kick, they think the ball went in past the post.
So if you look at it on the replay, it looked like it hit the back white diagonal bar, and it bounced around 3 times. That was a nice finish, snuck in the back door by the center back, Keller Storlie. But you know, the linesman's really supposed to make that call for the referee. She can see that, but on a sunny day, you know, it's moving so fast. That's hard. That's one of where you need the VAR or slow-mo replay or something along those lines.
It was a great attempt, and a bunch of people were yelling goal. Wow. Size got up so high that time and headed that ball back. Nice job controlling the ball that time by Keller Storlie.
So PDX FC is just stretching this team out and looking to try and find balls through the wing. Oh, that's a good strike by Nunez. Or that's not Nunez. Yeah, it is Nunez. Nunez tries to bend one in from the wing.
Andrew Nunez.
Andrew is going to Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a Portland Timbers product. Very nice young man from Oregon City, and he Chris Taylor, former Timber, saw him play at the youth level, liked him, and kept in touch with him. And it's a school with a religious affiliation. That was something important to Andrew, and that's how he ended up down there. But they're a very good D1. They beat Denver U, who were ranked last year, and they had a nice winning season. He saw minutes coming off. He's at Oral Roberts. He plays as a right winger.
With the ball, PDX can't get a shot away. They'll send that back. Perrones tries to get back there, but PDX sends it forward. No score. First semifinal action here in the Oregon Open Cup.
So if you watch today, Anthony Aia and Keller Storlie, they're going to just try and hold that back line and say, look, we'll let you play in front of us, but you're not going to get behind us. We've got the cover, we got numbers, and be patient. Keep their bodies what's called goal side. That was a good cross.
Good cross, a header, but it was wide left.
So the defense just showing their quality. We're going to be patient, stay between you and our keeper and win possession, keep possession. Now they're going to find Daniel. There he is. There's the target man. Play through him, and he's going to sort of like a card dealer, deal out the cards to whoever he thinks deserves them and spread the ball. This is a very nice play, though. They're building. Here comes Scardino, who's not afraid to take guys on. Watch Evans for a quick shot here. I bet he'll get one off before the half. He loves to shoot.
You know, it's just not Daniel's size, but the rest of PDX has some big players. Have good size.
Yeah, and that's becoming more and more important, you know, and that's what Coach Babson's looking for is size is you know, defensively is a real win-win. Physically, when you get a guy matching up at 6'2", 180 versus someone, it's harder in the midfield. A lot of these guys, you notice the midfield players are going to be a little sharper, quicker feet because they're changing direction all the time. But in the back line, or you know, where Daniel's playing at the head of the spear as the number 6, what you're trying to do is just make sure that they go out wide where there's no danger. Never come up the middle. So that's why you see bigger players oftentimes in the center of the field, up top, or in the back line, in the center of the field.
The back line for PDX, I watched them. They're very physical, and they were pushing people off the ball.
Yeah, that's a sign of experience. Use your body. So there's your example of size, right? That long ball, it's almost very similar to basketball. You know, you got a center, and he's got to get rebounds. He's got to be, if you look at the Portland Trailblazers, how excited they are to have Nurkic back, and Zach and
right.
Collins is that his name? Zach Collins. These are
right.
Oh, here's a good ball.
In front, Scardina can't get the ball off on the side. A whistle.
So the Puerto team, for his young players have never played together, are doing a good job of holding PDX FC, who has scored a lot of goals. They're being patient. They're staying inside. A few of these balls are going over top, but what I love that they're doing is recovering back to the PDX player and getting goal side, defending tight, making it hard on, making PDX FC have to do something special to score. If I'm a betting man, PDX is going to get one before half. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
No score here in the first half.
Yeah, we are 22 minutes in.
Halfway through the first half, is that what we have, Dave? 22 minutes in?
I think so.
45-minute half. No timeouts in soccer.
We're 23 minutes in, halfway through the first half, no score. No clock on the field, so our director, Jim Thompson, is kind of using our equipment to keep track of the time. PDX very comfortable sending the ball back to the goalie.
Right, he's very good with his feet. Very experienced goalkeeper, and you're seeing Luke Babson, coach, said he's got a lot of confidence in his back line, and that what a save.
Wow. Goalie out that time.
So
Jose Ochoa with the save.
Jose did a great job protecting his near post. That was a driven ball that was very built through that final offensive line, got the ball out to the wing and let him have a go. And a well-struck ball should have been in, but keeper comes up big and makes a big save.
2 45-minute halves. If we're tied at the end of regulation, we will go directly to PKs.
So that was a well-bent ball to Daniel Saez. All he had to do was nod that in, and he powered it down on the ground, bounce over. It's almost harder to miss that shot. So we have it looks like we have a water break. Is that what's going on, Dave?
I think so. I think that's the water break. There'll be a water break halfway through the first half and halfway through the second, about 2 minutes long.
So Coach Babson's going to bring PDX FC in and say, all right, guys, we're getting chances. We're creating lots of opportunities, given that last cross from a beautiful ball from Nick Scardino right onto the head of Daniel Saez. I think he'll want that one back. It was a good effort, but there was no one even jumping with him, and that's that size and domination that we were speaking to earlier. I think Coach Babson's going to say, guys, we're in this. We're controlling 70% of the possession. Let's be patient and pick our spots. A goal's going to come. if I'm Puerto, I'm going to say, all right, guys, we're 0-0 with a very good team that's very
Exactly.
experienced. Let's keep working hard. Let's keep staying goal side and tight and on our marks. Let's be confident we can break, and when we do get the ball, let's really try to keep it, because we don't have a lot of the ball. They've not received a lot of the ball, so when they do get it, they got to treat it with care and play really simple, and then try to counter.
All right, well, we got a second. I want to tell you about one of our other great sponsors today, and that's Goal Soccer Bar. They're located at 1739 Southeast Hawthorne Boulevard in Portland. You can enjoy food, sports, drinks in a comfortable indoor or outdoor setting. They're on the corner of Southeast 18th Street in Portland. Wind picked up here for just a second. Certainly the conditions, though, are better today than they were last week.
Yeah, and that wind is blowing, it looks like south, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to play in PDX FC's favor. When you're playing a long ball, it looks like the flags, if you ever wonder which way the wind's blowing, look at the soccer flags. But that long ball plays to your advantage. Sometimes it plays too long on a field turf field like this, whereas it's a little harder on the back line and the goalkeeper of Puerto to play into that wind. It's not too bad. I'd say what are we experiencing? 10, 15 knots out here right now, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah, it's actually, if you're a player, it's quite nice, because on a hot day it cools you down.
PDX has had a couple of scoring opportunities in the first half of the first half. Probably the best one was that one we just had, where Sides just headed the ball down into the ground in front of the goalie.
Yeah, I mean, that was, he got up, and it's very hard to, with your head, bounce a ball off the goal line over the goal. That's very rare that happens, unless you're 6'5". But they're going to look to keep playing those balls in, and you had one goal that was not counted with Keller Storlie on a nice cross. You know, there's one of your targets, as well as Daniel Saez, who's going to be your target. And they're going to keep thumping the ball in on top of him. Other guys you're looking to hit the balls on from the wings too is coming from Nick Scardino or Andrew Nunez or Gabe Parrish. You're trying to find Nick Evans and see if he can make a near post run, something kind of sneaky behind their center backs and get a goal.
Both Evans and Sardini have had good position in the first half. The first half just haven't been able to put the ball in the net.
Yeah, I'd like to see Nick be a little more selfish. He's being very unselfish on the top of the 18. Every now and then, if I were coaching him, I'd say, look, why don't you take a touch yourself and have a go? Because he can finish. I've watched him in training. I've watched him play for years. He's a natural finisher.
Daniel Saez is down. He got kicked in the shin. It's a good thing he went back and got those shin guards on, because that time he got a pretty good kick. He's up.
Well, the Japanese player, there was no malfeasance or intent to hurt him there. He just went in for a tackle to win the ball, and the ball was released off of Saez's foot pretty quick, and so
You got the guy 6'5", and the guy about 5'5", and the guy 6'5" goes down.
Oh, beautiful ball. Here we go. Here's an opportunity. There's that near post run. Good strike.
Send the ball back out. PDX will set up again.
So Nunez fakes like he's going to hit his center back, and then he beats the players. Now he's got two to beat. That's a lot. And the referee calls a good foul. He's not playing the ball. He's playing the man. A little frustrated because he beat one, and probably tried to do too much. But that's what a wing player does. It's okay to lose the ball in that corner. That's the place you want guys to dance and take players on. And, if you can beat a guy and whip a cross in, it can result in a goal. You want your wing players to be attacking minded.
Back on that same left wing this time.
Here goes Jesse Garcia. Now he's going to try. He's got 3 to beat. Now can he get across or corner?
Back out on top. Quickly around. Saez with a shot high.
So nice quick release, takes a touch, tries to tuck it in the right corner. Just technical breakdown, but good idea.
He looked on the right to see if somebody was there. He wasn't, so he took the shot.
Yeah, it was a little tight. Ooh, so the player's going to want that one back. The referee's saying he got the man, not the ball, but now he's getting upset, and probably result. That's Moya Diaz, number 12. He's just giving him a speaking to, saying, hey, look, I got this. Don't tell me how to referee.
Right.
Player's a little frustrated, and that's a judgment call.
All right, free kick coming up for Perrones.
So this is where they could be, Perrones can be very lethal. They can get a set piece, a knockdown, something like this. This is very common in soccer. One team will dominate possession, the other team will step up and get an opportunity, make the most of it, and then you've got a 1-0 game.
Low kick and headed away. And Perrones won a game last week, 1-0, so they know the value of that goal.
Absolutely. Most soccer games are won by just one goal. One goal. It's a cruel game. You could dominate a team, outshoot them 25-1, and that one goes in, and they take the W and advance into the tournament. This is a single elimination tournament. One thing, speaking to the tournament director, is there is no overtime. They go straight into penalty kicks. So it's really important that you're mindful of that as a coach. One, that you have your penalty kick shooters on there, but that you're being thoughtful as to what the result is. What a beautiful ball by the big man.
And we had a penalty kick game last week.
So they went straight to penalties.
Yep. Our team that will be in the second game today, Paisa's, won that game 5-4. Saez on the top again. Yes, they get it to him, and he sets things up. He looks on which side.
Great time tackle by Keller. He read that they're going to play through that 9, and
there's a shot and a goal.
All right, so that changes the strategy. You've got now you're going to see, Perrones is going to have to come out of their shell. They're going to have to attack because it's one and done, one goal and you're gone.
Let's see if we got a time from our. All right, 31 is the time on that. 31 minutes on the goal. Did you see who scored the goal?
It looked to me like Nick Evans had the goal. He made a nice slashing run and finished with it as he should. Just patient, picked his spot in the bottom corner.
Good.
All right, that goal by Nick Evans. Evans, number 28. 1-0, our score. And you just had the feeling all along that it was kind of just a matter of time until they got one.
Yeah, when you knock on the door of a team and you're getting, 10 shots every 20 minutes, something sooner or later, at this level, something's going to fall. And fair play to the keeper. He came out, but he's on a 1v1 on a diagonal run like that. There's not a lot you can do, especially when the striker puts it low by you at 900 miles an hour. It's in the back of the net.
You can't go to sleep, though, now. You can't let the other team come right back and score.
So you're spot on there, Dave. The most vulnerable time you are in a soccer game is right after you score in the last 10 minutes of a match. So this is where, you look for Perrones to counter and maybe get something and keep this game level.
There's a foul. Be a free kick coming up for PDX. Thanks for joining us here today. Capital City Soccer Complex, 1-0. PDX leads Perrones in this semifinal action. I'm Dave Hull along with Steve Storlie. Hope you're enjoying our action here.
So it looks like Nick Evans is going to step up and have a go. This is a really dangerous spot because when the wall is 10 yards from you, you actually have the ability to get the ball to drop down. If you're right up against on the 18, it's very hard to get the ball to drop. So it looks like Jesse Garcia is going to step up and hit this. He could go with a little short ball over the top, catch Daniel Saez, and catch them sleeping. I think he's going to have a hit at it.
Hard shot and just wide left.
Yeah, good effort. Nice, well struck ball, just a little bit foot wide.
just a little bit wide. The goalie was laid out there, but it was just wide left.
Yeah, the keeper's earning his salary today, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
But here's what I love about Perrones is even though these guys are young, they're not just whacking the ball up the field. They're actually trying to play, and they're taking their lumps because of it. They're giving up possession, but they are trying to play the game and play, give these guys a chance in the back line to possess the ball, playing through the midfield, seeing what they can do. The coach is trying to help these guys build confidence, is what he said. The players are from as far as Milton Freewater, they're from Coos Bay, they're from LeGrand, all over Oregon. And he brought them in and he sponsored them to play in this tournament.
That last shot was a low driving shot by Daniel Saez, and the goalie was just right there. Throw in for PDX.
So I have to say, Nick Evans, I'd like him to be a little more unselfish, but different than last week. This striker is really, look at the way he's being a target, and that could be a penalty. No penalty.
No penalty there.
You gotta be kidding me!
Coach Babson
I don't
sees
care
it as a
about the
penalty.
PK. Keep us safe. That's ridiculous.
Coach Babson right below us, our crowd might picking him up. He's obviously not happy with the non-call. Well, I think that says it.
So Nick Evans beats 3 guys. The last guy lifts him, and he doesn't get rewarded with the penalty kick. But at the end of the day,
that was another great save by the goalie down on his knees. A hard shot.
Andrew Nunez has a go. Ball bounces, hits a half volley. Well struck, just a little wide. Good choice, though, nonetheless. And that could have resulted in a 2-0. I do like that Nick Evans is taking guys on. He's holding the ball up. He's presenting himself as a target through Daniel Saez and through other players. Very, very active, and that's great when you have a number 9 that's a link player because you can play off him. He's done a great job of getting in front of their defense and just being that glue that helps other players make runs and connect. There's a foul.
We don't have a clock, but I'd estimate time of possession 80-20 in favor of PDX.
I think you're right, Dave.
I mean, when was the last time we were down here in the other end?
Yeah. Now, if you're the coach from Perrones, you're just trying to keep this game close and see if you can catch them on a counter and then go to penalties. 2, it will be the icing on the cake. This team is going to really struggle because they're not creating their own chances. So if they can get this second goal, I think that's going to be really, really hard for Perrones to make a comeback. But if you watch right now, you're seeing PDX just show their quality. They're very patient on the ball. They're playing little 1-2s, little passes, finding their men, breaking through the lines. There's a ball in the wing. Looks like Scardino was offsides.
Offsides, flag is up. PDX offsides. Free kick coming up for Perrones. If you're wondering why we're not calling out more Perrones' names, both teams have black jerseys on. Perrones selected to put on an orange warm-up jersey to distinguish, and so we can't see any numbers. Nice pass that time by Storlie. I'm just impressed with the defensive backs for PDX. They got a great job of falling back, taking possession away.
Yeah, what you want as your back line is to win the ball, give it to your ball handlers, and be patient so that until you break a line, that their forward line, and what they've been doing is taking their time, they win possession, they find Daniel Saez, or they maybe play every now and then a long ball you'll play as a center back or defender to try to keep their back line on their toes. You don't want them to compact the field and push their line too close to your midfield. So every now and then you'll throw one over, but if you watch the patience, he's just going to pick out a player and keep possession. Usually with your back line, unless they're attacking on the wing, you want them to play really safe, simple, smart balls and let the ball handlers like Saez and the midfielders like Jesse Garcia dictate where the ball's going. So if you're watching PDX FC, they're trying to press. Think of it like a high court press in basketball. They're trying to press Perrones and make them make a mistake. And this is the first time I've seen Perrones really start to build and come out of the shell. This is good. And there's a guy on the break. Does he have the pace to get behind him? Not quite. And
Steve, it just looks to me like Perrones, they don't get enough players forward. I mean, they're playing back, trying to play defense and keep PDX from scoring, and they don't get enough players forward at any time. Maybe one or two up there at midfield.
Well, you're spot on, Dave. If a number 9 can hold the ball up until other players can join, then you can get thrown your midfielders and maybe get some backline players connected. But you're spot on. They're sort of disjointed from the strikers, and that allows time for PDX to get numbers home, clean up the ball, and dispossess them.
A long shot, wide left. PDX still with the ball in the corner. Got some subs coming in. A couple of, looks like 3 PDX players set to come in.
I think it's just 2. You've got.
Oh, I see.
That referee looks similar. Maybe not. Maybe he's not sure. Sky Charlie Bolliard, he is going down to Southern Oregon State. He'll come in on the center midfield. We'll look for him to have a little better game this game of keeping possession. He made a transition from LaSalle High School and club soccer to this is his first go at men's league, and it was a lot faster last week. Let's see if he makes an adjustment this week and keeps possession. Very technical, talented player on the younger side.
Great programs at LaSalle.
Yeah, they were state champions under last year.
I'm trying to think of the coach there.
Seth Allshooter was the coach.
Okay.
Seth retired as the coach this year due to some health issues and starting a private practice in psychology. But I know the kids that played there loved him. He was a very experienced coach, very experienced player, played at Harlem in Holland.
Oh.
They were lucky to have him all the years they had him. A really great leader of young men.
Adrian Villegas checks in number 5 and Lorenzo Lopez number 8 for PDX.
So I think that's a scratch here. Number 8 is actually Sky Charlie Bolliard. Lorenzo Lopez was scratched. That was just a last-minute roster change. I don't think we got notice of. I just know him as a kid, so I'm confident on that one.
Okay.
Coached him as a young man. And then your other center back. Your other center back is Muse Amissi.
Oh, okay.
He scored as soon as he came in the last match. He was on the field maybe 30 seconds and scored a corner kick, a beautiful finish.
He's number 20, right?
Correct. He is number 20. He's playing with number 21, who's on the ball, Keller Storlie, and they'll look to pair up and keep a very patient tempo. I don't think they're going to have any problems. They both have pace. And
they both have good size,
and
too.
Size and pace, yeah. I think you'll see Keller do more of the orchestrating and bringing the ball out. That's what he likes to do, and Musa will cover him with his pace, and they'll work to, they try and find a tandem. But this pace right now is this tempo is really slow, so I don't think they're going to have any problems.
Are you surprised how slow the tempo is in this game?
Yeah, this happens when you have a team that sits in like this and a team that's trying to be really patient. You've got one team that's just sort of sitting in and countering, and the other team that's trying to just spray the ball around. It sort of creates that kind of game.
I'd describe Perrones as like a counterpuncher and boxer.
Exactly. You were looking for them to make a mistake and, take a big risk, and they'll get you on the counter. Remember, it's only 1-0 right now for our
Exactly.
viewers, so this game could go either direction.
When you think about it, as dominant as PDX has been in this game, they only lead 1-0.
Exactly. I think if you look at the shot count in possession, shot, as you said, it's probably 75-25 or 80-20. Shots, I would say you're looking at PDX maybe has outshot them before the first half, 15-1, 15-0, maybe 15-1.
I think 0. I don't think it's
Yeah,
been a shot
I don't
on
think
goal.
Zach Nelson has made a save yet, has he? He's
No.
done a good job of keeping his line pushed. He's done a good job of communicating. You can hear him from up here in the booth. He's playing off his line as you expect. He looks like a very polished Division I college goalkeeper.
He does. All right, another throw-in coming up for Perrones. When PDX comes forward, they have so many players in front of the net, and I look down there, Perrones with the ball, and they don't have anybody.
Well, if this is where you've got, like I said, you've got to come out of your shell, right?
Exactly.
At some point, they're going to have to attack. And now watch PDX try to look to get forward. There's a nice deep ball into the corner. A little too deep. Good idea.
Saez with a rare ball that went too far. He's been a great passer.
So that's halftime, right?
Halftime here at Capital City Soccer Complex. Our score, PDX 1, Perrones 0. Steve, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I thought the first half was sort of what we predicted. The more veteran team was patient, took their time, hoping to break the ice early. They didn't have success, but they created a number of chances. This is going to be a challenge for Coach Babson just to keep these guys patient, because usually what happens is players all want to get forward and you start breaking down your shape. But I think they're controlling the game and that they're in the driver's seat. Whereas Perrones, fair play to them, a young team that's never really played together, showing a lot of heart and grit, putting numbers in the box, frustrating PDX and looking to create something on the counter. Especially for a group of guys that defensively usually somebody makes a mistake when they've not played together, and we call it, Dave, parking the bus in front of the goal. And they parked the bus and they're doing it successfully. And they're betting on their goalkeeper, who's done a great job of keeping it close.
The only goal of the game comes from Nick Evans at the 31-minute mark. And, Evans was very involved in the offense the whole first half.
Absolutely. He did a great job of playing in front of their back line, and he's got a very soft and nimble touch where he can hold that ball up and wait for a guy breaking off his left and right and connecting other players. And then if someone tries to cheat him, turn and go himself. But he's a very, very handy forward, very experienced. He played at Oral Roberts as well as he was headed to Concordia, coming off an ACL. I'm impressed that he's playing with the confidence he is, because he had ACL surgery and he's playing as if he's a spring chicken. He's done very, very, very good job, and he got taken down the box. I think on replay that might have been a penalty. I know Coach Babson would like to see that, but those are judgment calls. You got to be right on top of if you're the referee.
Having had an ACL injury myself, I know that those injuries are not just physical;
Right.
they're mental too.
Right. Well, he's been watching him for the last 2 months, training very hard. He's got after it in physical therapy, and I look to see him have a great season at Warner. I wouldn't be surprised if he leads the team in goals somewhere north of 15 goals.
All right, I want to tell you about an upcoming event, and that is the Portland Community Football Club's Night of Champions fundraiser. That's Portland Community College Football Club's annual fall fundraiser. It's called Night of Champions, and it will be all virtual this year. The main auction kicks off on September the 19th, and they've got some surprises in store, including they will have a special guest appearance from a former World Cup champion.
Oh, wow.
So that's September the 19th. Head over to pcfc.co to learn more.
Yeah, so in this game, if you're Perrones, what you're trying to do is capitalize on your youth and your energy, and you called it, Dave. They want to try and connect more players on the counter. They really, if you leave one guy up top on an island, he's sooner or later going to get collapsed on by two very proficient center backs. They're going to put pressure on him to make a decision, and they've been, dispossessing their number 9 regularly. So what you want to do is ask your center middies, hey, connect to a trailer, hitch up to that number 9 in the wings. We got to get you guys to join in, and if they can get more numbers forward, they might catch them on the counter.
While we're talking about special events, I want to tell you about another great Oregon Sports Beat event coming up, and that is the Northwest Futsal Derby, and that is August the 15th in Portland. The best futsal teams in Oregon and Washington square off in an outdoor setting to crown the regional champion. For more information, go to www.oregonssportsbeat.NWFD. 2 great events coming up here in the next couple of months.
Futsal is one of the most exciting games to watch live. If you're at home and you're a viewer, it's fast, it's very skillful. You get to see the flair of the players, and it results in lots of goals. It's also the game of the youth of the world that dominates the World Cup. So if you think of Brazil and Argentina and many of the, Spain, Italy, they all play futsal at the youth level. So if you're looking for something to do, and take your kids out there, go watch that futsal tournament, expose them to the game. I got to moderate a futsal event with Diego Valeri, the maestro of the Timbers, and he said he was played futsal till he was 15. In the off season, he still plays futsal on his free time to keep his game sharp, and so most countries in the world have at the youth level are going to have futsal. It's being embraced. It's a growing sport. It's an exciting sport.
Right.
And
Courts opening up all over around Portland and everything. I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
They have a World Cup. Futsal has a World Cup, and a couple of years ago it's in Argentina. And you had to qualify for that. The U.S. team didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Just before the tournament started, they lost the team, and they contacted the U.S. team and said, can you come and play in the tournament? The U.S. team picked players. They picked a number of players from Portland, and they went down there and actually won a couple of games.
Yeah, I want to say Keith Dozier is the national team coach, and there's a handful of guys that have been sort of in and out of the U.S. team. Because we have a thriving futsal league, I want to say there's six to eight futsal centers. Rose City Futsal built 2 massive complexes, and
I've done games there.
Yeah, they're packed, and they're really helping grow the sport. And then there's a number of futsal facilities, but that's such a treat for kids in Portland where you're at the mercy of the weather. Rose City Futsal actually, one of the players out here, Keller Storlie, played in the Youth World Cup.
Oh.
He's played in 2, one in Montesilvano, Italy, and one in Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
But America embraces that sport. We're putting more players into the game, and I think you're going to continue to see it grow across the country.
All right, and that's August 15th. Go to OregonSportsBeat.com/NWFD, and you can get information on that. Also, we're not clear yet when the championship game in this tournament is going to be in the Oregon Open Cup. Go to OregonSportsBeat.com, and we'll get you some information on that. It'll be sometime next week.
And we've got I think the front runner coming up right after this with the Oregon Valley Alliance Football Club. Very, very, very good team, Corvallis based, and their coach Logan has done a great job of preparing those guys. It'll be interesting to see if they come and bring the same energy today after this match, if you stay tuned, as they did last week.
The Oregon is a hotbed for soccer down the valley and on the coast. They have great players and great programs.
Yeah, it's just exploding, and it's great to see young guns, guys like Luke Babson and the coach from Oregon Valley, Logan, getting soccer started in all these little communities, bringing organized coaching to them where they can develop players. And surprising places up and down the I-5 corridor and outside of Portland are developing Division I players, developing players that are signing pro around the country and giving opportunities like we're seeing right now with Perrones. There's giving opportunities to kids to gain experiences against good players.
All right, we're just about ready for the start of the second half. Again, PDX FC leads this 1-0 over Perrones. This is our first semifinal action. We'll follow this up with a game at 4 o'clock. That's the OVF Alliance and Epuerto Perrones, winners last week.
So, Dave, can you pronounce the goalkeeper for Perrones for me one more time off the roster?
Jose Ochoa.
Jose Ochoa has done a great job this first half of keeping this game close. He's going into his sophomore year down at Chemeketa, and I wouldn't be surprised if he advances past junior college if he keeps making saves like he is, especially if he works as hard as he does on and off the field, according to his coach. We'll see him to inspire a lot of young, high school players as well as junior college players to hang with a lot of these guys that are playing from PDX FC, which are Oregon State, University of Washington, Seattle U, D1 players, as well as a couple potential pros in Daniel Saez and Keller Storlie.
I had a chance to talk to Jose Ochoa before, and he told me that most of the players on this team are from Chemeketa Community College.
Okay. Well, they must do pretty well at the community college level because
there were 4 or 5 players on this team that were all-stars in that league last year.
Got it. Well, it's a beautiful day for soccer. Light breeze, 75 degrees, sunny, and fortunately the camera's not staring right into the sun. Hopefully our viewers at home are enjoying this. For those of you who are watching this game, this is the Oregon. What do we call this tournament? The Oregon
Open Cup.
Oregon Open Cup. Is it its inaugural event? Is this his first year?
No, this is the second year. We started it last year and we did it here.
Okay.
And that tournament was won by FCM Portland.
And these guys will go on, if they win this, to potentially playing in the national championship, right? They can advance into the McGuire Cup. Is I think what this is what's qualification for.
Last week, in the first game that I did here in this tournament, I worked with Sergio Medel, and he was the coach of the team that won it last year. So,
with FC Portland?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great club. Been around a long time. Started all the way back with Clive Charles, going back, and I'm dating myself, but at the ripe age of 53, I remember when they started that club. Coached the University of Portland. A lot of players played for him. Still. Some of the character and the things, he inspired a lot of young people to coach, and all those people are still giving back to soccer in the city of Portland.
When I was talking about that event that's coming up, the PCFC Night of Champions, and I said they would include a special guest that was a World Cup champion. You might think University of Portland when I mention that.
Okay. Well, we won't let the cat out of the bag.
So that probably means that's a woman.
Well, it's not.
I was watching the start of the WNBA season earlier this morning, and Megan Rapinoe was in the audience watching the game.
I got to watch her play at the University of Portland, and what a talent! She scored some goals that would blow your mind. Just wonderful touches and long range half volleys from deep, and it's great to see the women's game continue to blossom, grow, and do well.
One of my favorite American soccer players one time was the goalie at the University of Portland, Casey Keller.
Yeah, Casey Keller went on to play at a club called Rai Vallecano, which is good strike, might be a handball, which is in Spain. It's the rival club of AD Alcacorn, which is where my son is playing. He still holds in Spain quite a reputation as being a fantastic goalkeeper, as well as all the things he accomplished in the English Premier League and in England.
I think he played for Tottenham in the English Premier League. They're the Hotspurs, I think.
Yeah. So here we go. We've got PDX FC already dictating the tempo, controlling the possession, trying to get that second goal.
So Daniel Saez is down tying his shoe and kneeling down. He's the tallest player marking him.
I think the coach is having a couple words with the referee about maybe face masks and or just style of play. I think he's asking him just to protect the players more and watch the stuff that happens off the ball. Sometimes there's late tackles and things like that, and that's the job of the referee, to provide safety to the players. And that's what Coach Babs is asking for.
PDX in the black, they're moving from our Left to our right, Perrones in the orange warm-up jerseys, and they are moving from our right to our left.
So there's something you don't see too often. Zach Nelson gets a little panicky, tries to drive a long ball. Wind takes it out of bounds, unfortunately. But rather than trusting center back. And there's that wind again. You see how it's blowing the ball back. Oop, hits a power line.
Right. Storlie with that kick got it way up in the air, and up there that wind's going to affect it. Ochoa, the goalkeeper for Perrones.
So here's that counter you got to watch.
Perrones forward and not able to control it. Storlie back. PDX leads this one 1-0. A goal at the 31st minute. Nick Evans on the goal.
So here's PDX FC trying to catch them on the break. There's Nick Evans in early, takes a go, no luck. So that was a long counter ball. That's where the center back won the ball in his own half and tried to catch them on the counter and play the long deep ball and see if we can catch them caught up forward. Nearly happened.
Throw in coming up for PDX. As we move on in time, becomes more important for Perrones to change their strategy and move forward.
They may have to, they can't just sit and keep parking that bus. They're going to have to come out of their shell. But if they can hang on, I think that this coach is going to probably play this way for another 20 minutes. And see if he can catch a counter. They're still close enough that can happen. But then at some point he'll come out of his shell. But I still think at some point that the quality of PDX FC is going to take over. We'll see. Big difference. Big difference is going to be, can they find Daniel Saez? Let him distribute the ball side to side.
PDX forward, trying to get the ball in the middle. Perrones breaks that up. Second half action here. Oregon Open Cup semifinals. PDX FC, Perrones. PDX leads 1-0.
Beautiful through ball. So they have made one adjustment. If you notice that at halftime, they're now playing two guys up front for Perrones versus before they just had the one target player. So they're adjusting a bit.
Keller Storlie with the ball. Another high ball forward. And there's a foul. Whoop, and a follow-up. We're going to have some infraction come out of this, I'm sure.
I think he's going to pull both of them aside and say, especially Nick for retaliating. Hey, look, he's calling them both over, I think. You're both going to get a yellow card. Yep. And the other player, he's going to say, look, you're in his face. You can't encroach another player and get up in his face. And he's calling him off. And he's dealing out both cards, which is just to settle both of them down and say, guys, okay, I'm watching you now. Let's calm down and let's play.
A red card in this tournament will get you, you'll get out of the game. You'll be able to come back the next game unless it's some violent action.
Okay. So normally a red card you would have to sit a match. Right. So that's unique, I think, to this tournament.
And the object is to try to keep players available to play.
I think that's actually, if you get called on a judgment call on a second tackle, but if you're doing something violent, punching somebody or really going over the ball and breaking somebody's leg, you should be gone from the tournament.
Right.
All right, so Nick is going to look to bend this in, it looks to me, or he's going to try and find Saez on the back post. It looks to me as if he's picking his target. He's going to try and bend one in, tuck one in, catch this keeper off guard. Watch Sky Charyu, Boulevard number 8. He's going to try and clean up the garbage on the back door.
There's the kick. Evans with the kick. Low driving kick. Punched away by the goalie. Ochoa that time.
And here comes the counter in a 3v4.
3 Perrones players forward.
And that's where that wind works against you. Not a great ball either way, but you see Keller Storlie pressing the ball, trying to keep them wide, make them make a decision. And now they're going to play out of the back. And he's going to be patient. Use Zach Nelson to help him. Got to find. This is where I like Saez as the 6, because he would present himself. He would come in and offer that option, and that's what's changed. Is he's playing a little higher up the field. They're trying to see what he can do offensively, trying to get that second goal. Saying, hey, let's put the big man, give him more attacking chances versus being in the hole. But it's not resulting in as much possession as they had before.
Perrones now with a bunch of people forward.
Yep, they've got 8 forward. See if they can create something. Jesse Garcia looking to build, start possession. And you're starting to see Perrones settle down a little. They're starting to try and find options, getting, like you said, David, numbers forward. But there's the experience of PDX. They're going to settle in, press the ball, and see if they can pick something. Swing it wide.
PDX forward. And a little too far.
Tries to hit him on the head on a cross ball. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. So that long square ball like that on a windy day, that's really hard to hit. And you see PDX FC, they stay compact defensively. They wait for those chances, they pick them, and now they've got possession again. And now they're gonna build through the wing, take their time, see what they can find. There's Saez trying to get himself forward more. Call a foul there. They say he didn't play the ball.
Number 16 on PDX.
Number 16
on my roster, I have Johnny Rodas, who I'm very familiar with. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Yeah, I think that you're right, Dave. That was a last-minute roster change. Let me see if I.
All right, free kick coming up.
Reggie Reyes.
Ah, okay. There's the kick.
And
way wide left.
Really mishits that. I think he was shooting maybe and just mishit it. Reggie Reyes, Concordia University player, comes from Woodburn, transferring to Dixie State. With Concordia eliminating their program, sadly, looks like he found a home at, I think, Dixie State, which you would think is in the South, but it's actually not. It's in the Dixie State, I want to say, is in Colorado or Utah.
Okay.
Utah.
Okay, I thought it was in Idaho, but here comes Perrones forward. A shot, knocked down. Great job.
There's that counter that we were talking about.
And I think that's the first shot on goal by Perrones. A great save that time by Zach Nelson. You know, when you're ahead 1-0, all it takes is one slip up like that, and
well, Storlie steps up to try and, wins the ball, deflects off his foot, and that player gets lucky not to be called offsides, but breaks through on the counter, and that could have been 1-1 right there, that quick. And striker makes a good run. Unfortunately, just isn't rewarded. Keeper Zach Nelson makes a big save and comes out and does his job when you need him. It's a well-driven shot on the deck and makes a great reaction save. This is where when you let a team hang around like they have and you're dominating possession, you end up giving them opportunities, and they can now slide 1-1, and you got a game on, and it's tournaments in contention.
Exactly.
That's a nice ball.
You know, a fighter be down 10 rounds to none and land a lucky punch.
That's it. Jesse Garcia has a good go. There's a handball. Doesn't call it. So Jesse Garcia is going to call for a foul. Nope. He shoots. Player dives, hits his hand. That's a tough call. Now he calls a corner.
Corner kick coming up for PDX.
And Jesse Garcia beats the player, hits a great shot. The defender makes a save with his hand. He wants a penalty. That's the second one. I think Coach Babson's probably going to continue to be frustrated. Now we're going to be looking for hit targets. Oh, they play a short corner. Bend it in, and Gabe Parrish makes a go at it, but no luck.
Ochoa out with the ball. One to nothing, PDX leads.
So big changes by Coach Babson. He's going to try to get something in a little different. He puts brings Gabe Parrish up top, puts Nick Scardino back on the left, Reggie Reyes on the right in the final third, and there's a foul. He calls a penalty. Yep, he got him.
Science not in the game.
Yeah, and he takes Big Daniel Saez out. So Scardino threatens the box. He drives at the 6, draws the foul. He's got great pace and does exactly what you want a winger to do, is press that back line. And the referee finally rewards PDX FC with a penalty.
Penalty kick coming up for PDX FC.
And what's your number 10 position? Jesse Garcia stepping up. Plays at Oregon State, and he's going to look just to place this home. Now, this keeper is very, very quick-footed, and normally 9 out of 10, number 7 is Jesse Garcia shooting on. Our keeper is Ochoa, right?
Mm-hmm. Jose Ochoa.
Jose is going to, smaller keepers like this are very, very quick-footed. So normally 9 out of 10 of these go in on a penalty, but I wouldn't bet against this young man. He's been showing, he's very, very, very crafty. He's a great shot stopper.
All right, PK coming up. Jesse Garcia, number 7. Ochoa with his hands up. We're set. The stutter step, the kick, and into the left side, and a goal.
Well finished. He got the keeper to sort of lean to the left, figured out where he was going. He leaned to Jesse Garcia's right and then placed it home. Tucked it in with a well hit ball in the corner. And that's 2-0. Changes the game. Big changes. That
16.
60 minutes.
Oh, 60 minutes. I'm sorry, 60 minutes.
60 minutes in. Scardino draws the foul. Great run. Great attempt at breaking down that player. And Jesse Garcia comes and gets that much-needed second goal, which is going to change the face of this game. Now you'll see PDX sort of settle down and try and keep possession, and you're going to see the coach make a sub. He's bringing on some more attacking players that are probably fresh legs to try and inspire something to get the game close to as far as an equalizer.
2-goal lead now for PDX. 60 minutes into the game.
Need to score that one. Yeah.
Here we go, Perrones.
So it looks as if Perrones is playing 3 guys high now, playing 3 or 4 in the midfield and 3 in the back. Which, at this point, you're 2-0 down with 30 minutes in the match. You're going to have to take some risk and throw some guys forward.
It's going to be there. Yeah, they react late. Yeah.
There's a shot, hard shot, wide right and high.
Well struck ball. You can't be too casual if you're PDX FC. You got to keep your numbers in compact defensively, but here they go on the counter, playing through Keller Storlie back to Scardino.
You play center mid though. Center mid and I don't know what else.
So this is open sub, meaning that it's last week they changed the tournament rules because of the heat and numbers. You now have open subs, which means they can sub multiple times.
Last week the rule was 18-man rosters. The rule was once you subbed, you were done. And this week you can come back in the game.
Correct.
2-0, PDX leads Perrones, our first semifinal action here, Oregon Open Cup.
So we may see Daniel Saez again before too long. Very impressed with the Japanese young man, Taichi. He's done a great job of winning possession for his team, supporting the field. He's covering a lot of ground. There he is again on the ball, and he's looking to spray it, but nope, he's going to play smart and just keep possession and connect players. Very similar to what you would see coming out of the Japanese national team is they love to possess the ball. They like to play a lot of short, tight passes, or they work hard. And
in front, the ball just up in the air, and goalie comes down with it.
So Keller reads that, keeps goal side, and makes sure that nothing's played behind him.
Japanese have made great strides in soccer, particularly in the women's game.
Absolutely, they love soccer. They're very passionate about it. They have the J League, and it's very well supported. And a number of very successful technical players finding their way into pro teams around the world.
Parrish on a wing, sends it towards the middle. Still on the ball, and the defender kicks that away.
Yeah, great tackle, steps up, and again, puts numbers between them and PDX FC.
2 goals in this game for PDX. One at the 31-minute mark, and that was by Nick Evans. And the second one, a penalty kick at the 60-minute mark, that by Jesse Garcia.
So nice switch from the right back through Storlie. He relaxes, plays it back out the wing, and they reload and try and go again. Nunez doing a lot with the ball, trying to do maybe too much. And here we go on the break.
3 defenders back, 4 defenders back. Storlie challenges the ball.
So that's the idea is you got to catch him on the counter like that. While those center backs, Storlie tries to win it. He's out of that pocket.
There was a whistle before that. The referee's waving that off. There was a whistle about 2 seconds before he shot that ball. Hard to tell whether it was he could have kicked it in or the players just let up, but offside.
Offside is what the call was, I believe, and he called on the pass. They continued to play. Great finish, but the whistle was blown clearly beforehand.
PDX. Throw-in coming up for Perrones. Header on the side challenge, so we got a collision, and there's going to be a whistle. And a little extra activity.
So that the Perrones player grabs the PDX player, throws him down.
Right.
And I think you're going to see some cards dealt out.
Right. Now we've got both teams kind of a little bit of pushing and shoving going on. Nothing serious, but clearly there was a penalty.
So they're just both players, PDX and Perrones, trying to establish position on the sideline. The PDX player establishes position. Frustration, 2-0 down. The Perrones player grabs him and throws him to the ground. I think referee got it. He was on top of the play. You'll probably see a yellow card issued, maybe not a red at this point in the game. He's going to settle them both down and say, look, you guys are both grabbing and shoving. Enough of that, and let's play. And maybe he throws a yellow out, maybe not.
Says, hey guys, I'm in charge here. If you guys want to keep playing, you better listen up.
Yep, there comes the yellow to both of them. And
both players with a yellow card.
And, fair play. These guys are calming down. A lot of young energy, a lot of testosterone out here, and hot day soccer. This is soccer.
Boys will be boys, right?
That is it. But fortunately, no fist thrown, and we're back into the game.
Right.
Referee does the right thing.
sorted it out, talked to both players.
Now, I
2
think
yellow cards.
I think your tournament director's right on top of it, and he's probably a little frustrated with seeing that kind of play, but they're back playing and letting the game speak for itself.
Oh, that was close.
Good job by Zach Nelson to try and clear the ball high and wide. When you've got a ball coming at you like that, he went straight up the middle, but normally what you want to do is bang it up high and into the wings. Wind's picking up. I think we've got a water break. Is that what we got?
Yep, water break. Going to take about 2 minutes here. While we got a break, I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors today, and that's Oregon Collision Center. Thanks to Oregon Collision Center for supporting the Oregon Open Cup for the past 2 years. They're locally owned, they're trained, they're certified professionals, and they're operating in Forest Grove. Thank you to Carlos, and thank you, Oregon Collision Center.
So it looks about 22 minutes left, Dave. 2-0 to PDX FC. They're sort of putting their stamp on the game, where Perrones is getting a little frustrated. They've created some chances with some positive energy and aggressive play. We'll see what happens in the remaining 22 minutes of play.
This game is not out of reach. At 2-0, it's not out of reach. Now, granted, Perrones hasn't really mounted successful offense in this game, but still, 2-0 is not out of reach.
Certainly. I mean, you get one and you've got 22 minutes to play. You're gonna the mentality is, hey, we're still in this. If we can get to one, that's what you're always thinking
Right.
as a player, as a coach. Let's just get one goal and bring this back into contention. Where if you're PDX FC, you're trying to get that final third goal, which pretty much puts the game out of reach for Perrones. But I will say this second half, Perrones has stepped up and started, show a bit of life, and they've created more shots, more chances, got more guys forward, and that's the risk you face is if you defend too well and you defend the whole time, you don't really create an opportunity.
About 20 minutes left here of action.
We see on the opposite side of the field is it looks like OVF is warming up. They should be one of the favorites to go through. If this score stays as is, 2-0, they would be playing, I believe in the final, they would be playing PDX FC, correct?
Yes, exactly. We don't have the confirmation on when that'll be, but it'll be
Next week?
sometime, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, somewhere in there. And when we get the exact confirmation, go to OregonSportsBeat.com. We'll have that information.
So much of this is tough, and I credit the tournament director and the coaches to get guys together, come out playing masks, and try and press through this COVID. It's not easy. If you're a player to run around with a mask on, it's something you've never done. It's very uncomfortable. It's hard to breathe, let alone communicate, which are two key things in the soccer game.
Major League Baseball started yesterday, and I happened to watch a number of the games last night. And I watched guys in the batter's box with face masks on. And I'm thinking, how can you do that?
Well, remember, they're running around, no disrespect to baseball, but they're running around 100 yards around bases. These guys are putting in,
90 feet between the bases.
90 feet, so 360 feet, right? So
120 yards.
So 120 yards. These guys are doing 4 to 9 miles. It's a lot with a mask on. Not easy.
So, in one of the games last night, that's the Cubs game, the batter got a base hit, goes down to first base. He's standing there. First baseman comes over to him while he's standing on the base, reaches around the back pocket, pulls out some hand sanitizer, and gives him a little shot of it.
Oh, that's very sportsmanlike.
Play at midfield, 2-0 our score. PDX leads.
So I wonder if the thinking of Coach Babson is I'll rest Daniel Saez, I'll rest Nick Evans, who both put in a great first half.
Your son's been in the game the whole time.
Yeah, it's not uncommon you'll leave a center back in because they sort of anchor the team, and they're not necessarily running as much. They tend to be guys that are a little more durable. You can kick them, or they're giving a kicking more than the others. But your strikers, you want to protect them because you need them in the next match. A guy like Daniel Saez, who is certainly a gifted player. He's coming back as far as fitness goes. I think they're just trying to get his legs underneath him and probably save him for the final, which is smart. He's 26. There's a good strike and a good save by the keeper.
Ochoa, one hopper.
That shot was Frank Marcial. He plays at Corbin University.
In Salem.
Correct. So here we go with Perrones spreading the ball, playing a good through ball, and trying to break them down. And here comes the counter. This is what happens when you launch guys forward like that. You try and get a quick counter. Scardino with a foul.
More jostling going on between the players right there.
Yeah, he cut inside him. He wanted to beat him. It just, unfortunately, the player got to the ball first and established possession and results in frustration, a foul.
2-0 PDX leads. Substitution coming in for Perrones.
It would be great if we could announce these players' names, but without numbers and they're wearing their training jerseys, as you highlighted earlier, it's hard to call out their names.
Off on the right wing. Oh, there's a tackle right in the box. And is that a yellow card?
That is a yellow card. I'm going to have to watch the replay, but I believe that's a penalty, and he's going to say the player pulled him down. I think he made more of a meal out of that. There was a little bit of a Broadway acting going on there, but you never know unless you're right on top of the play where the referee is.
There certainly was a collision. One player went down. It was in the box. It's going to be a penalty kick for Perrones. Like you mentioned, you cut that 2-0 lead in half right here.
So Coach Babson sees that. He's going to bring on Nick Evans and see if we can threaten them, throw him back up top. We'll see what Zach Nelson, if he's up to the task. This is a penalty kick.
I'm not sure what they're talking about right here. They're talking about replacing a player.
Number 27, Anthony Ayala comes off and plays at Seattle University.
And number 20, that's Musa Misa, checks back in.
So it may be in these tournament rules, if you're issued a yellow, that they do replace you in some cases if it's a penalty kick, or maybe Coach Babson just decided to make this up. But nonetheless,
the referee's actually down here in front of us, and they're talking about it. They've all got together, and I think he's going to go talk to them. He is to the tournament director. Can you see what they're talking about?
Well, I think he's talking about the last player is a defender. If he takes a player down, if you're the last player, you're oftentimes it's an automatic red card in some cases, or you can be subbed off the field. And I think the tournament director is giving clarification right now. So what you're seeing is, he's calling a.
That's a red card on the coach, I believe.
So he red cards the coach for a second yellow. PDX FC is going to have to play a man down, 10 players, for a period of time until either the next restart or the referee motions him on the field.
I heard him talking something about 10 minutes. Would that be?
I think he was saying, well, maybe the tournament rules are
10 men. That's
10
what
men.
he was
It's
signaling.
either 10 men or it could be.
Okay. Okay. It's definitely a penalty kick coming up here for Perrones, down 2-0.
Now, That could have been the second yellow for the player number 20.
Oh, yeah.
27, Anthony Ayaya. If it is, and he's issued a second yellow, it's an automatic red.
Right. Okay, if we pick up anything that they're saying down here, we'll pass that on. It's clearly a penalty kick. That'll be coming up. There was a yellow issued. There was also a red issued. And the player who came on is coming right back off, Musamisi.
Jose! Just drop into the center back. We go 2 in the midfield.
Okay, that's Coach Babson saying what they're going to do, how they're going to play the 10 men. 2 center backs, 2 midfielders. Is that what he was saying?
You're still playing 4 guys in the back. You always want to firm up your back line. So he's going to play 2 center backs, one with Keller Storlie, and he's asked Jose to go and be another center back. You'll have your outside defenders, and then you'll play, instead of 3 in the midfield, you'll play 2 in the midfield.
All right. And here's the penalty kick. There's the whistle. Nelson in goal. Here's the shot, and he stops it. Nelson stops it. The rebound comes out. It's shot back. It hits the post. And no score on the penalty kick. Oh! The player down there punched the post. That's got to hurt your hand. He's frustrated, so he punched the post.
Yeah, that is, I believe if we can see through his bibs.
You got an idea who you think that player is?
I'm doing my best to read through his bib, and I believe Raymond Garcia took the penalty.
Okay.
Unfortunate. Keeper makes a big save, and the second reaction save. He tries to get the knockdown and mishits it off his shin. Very frustrated. They had 2 chances at it and comes up empty.
Goldie makes a great save, and the second one hit the post.
So that's what you need from your keeper, is him to keep you in the game, not allow a team like this to get motion. What I'm worried about in here is that both teams get a little frustrated and it turns into a very chippy game. Maybe we'll see PDX FC be patient and start doing, instead of dribbling like that, throwing the ball around, letting it do the work so you don't get kicked. But I believe they're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe they're playing with a man down still.
PDX, I mean.
Correct, because of the second red on
Ayala.
On Ayala, yep.
PDX with the ball. They'll send it back. Taken away.
So, David, I showed 10 minutes left in this match, and the challenge for PDX is you're a man down. Can we stay tight and compact and not give them any opportunities? We don't have to. We're winning 2-0. We just got to protect this lead. If you're Perrones, you want to throw some guys forward. They're holding 4 from up here in the booth. We can see 4 still in the back, and maybe they throw another guy forward. They're losing 2-0 with 10 minutes to go. This is where, especially when you're up a man, you can attack, right? You can take risks. It's a good tackle.
PDX with the ball, down a man. They'll send it back. And send it all the way back to the goalie, Zach Nelson.
Man that ball there, Frank. We can use you there.
So this is where Nick Evans is going to have to be a target. Get underneath the players because he's short a man. He's going to have to link more players than he was in the first half. There he is. He's going to hold the ball up. Wait for some support. He's a big, strong kid. He's about 6'2", 3. Big, long kid. Oh, he gets fouled. Draws the foul. He's asking for a yellow card from the linesman or the ref. I don't think he's going to get it.
Referee headed over there. Corner kick coming up.
Now, if you notice, PDX is just keeping 4 guys home. They're going to protect this lead and say, look, you're going to have to beat us. Even though we're a man down, they're going to keep numbers back.
I said corner kick. I just meant free kick.
So Nick's going to drive one in here on the deck, hard and low, and see if someone can come on a diagonal slash and get on the end of this. If he drives it in, all the player's got to do is just make a touch on it, because he's very, very close to the goal. He might chip it, but his big men aren't in there, so I would bet he's going to try to drive one in and see if he can get a slashing player like Scardino or
Here we go. Free kick. It's a hard kick, low, right over the head of an incoming player. Good plan, just a little high on the execution.
Nice well-bent ball. They get the corner out of it.
They take the short corner. Evans. PDX still with 4 players back, and at that time Perrones only had 2 forward.
So this is where when you have 10 men, you get caught with the ball a lot at PDX. And they probably need to do just that. Release the ball quick.
Shot.
Great save.
Nice save by
Beautiful
Jose
save.
Ochoa.
Got right up to the top of the edge of his 6 there, right where you want to be. Cut the angle down and made a great reaction save. Well struck by Scardino. Shoots the right place, does everything right, takes a nice touch, quick early release. Unfortunate, the keeper makes a big save.
Great rush forward that time by Scardino. Kept the ball, had a good angle on the shot. The goalie just made a great save.
Here's a short ball. We've got a center back in the back post. Nope, no luck. This is where you want to catch them on the break. See if Perrones has got their center backs. Get numbers forward.
Towards the middle, and Nelson comes out, falls on the ball. Perrones that time had players forward and was trying to put something together.
PDX tries to build again, takes their time. There's a great turn by Nick Evans. He's off to the races. He's going to cut inside, make someone make a choice. Scardino does a great job to keep his feet, but maybe a little foul there is what he's asking for. Referee says, I played on, I gave you a chance. You know, good call by the ref.
Throw in coming up. Perrones makes another change.
Still just staying with 2 guys hide, being 2-0 down. I'm wondering why the coach isn't being a little more aggressive with minutes left in this match, maybe 5 minutes. Great feat by Jesse Garcia. Wins the ball, keeps possession, and changes the point of attack is exactly what you want a center midi to do. He's done a great job in both tournaments of sort of dictating where the ball's going to go, direction, tempo, pace, and being an option. There he is again on the ball. Great skills and awareness to see the guys behind him.
Perrones. Ball taken back away. PDX still resting Daniel Size.
Well, Coach Babson threw Jose Benavides back in the back of the center back. He's a very experienced center back, smart player. He's going to have those guys just lock down the defense, not give up anything.
Benavides, number 15.
Corrects. And remember, PDX FC is playing short a man right now.
You almost wouldn't know it.
Well, that's the benefit of possession. If you can keep possession, the ball does a lot more work, and you can make 10 guys feel like 11.
There's a shot, low driving kick into a player. Another low driving kick, rebounds off a player, the ball comes forward. And PDX had the numbers in, 1-on-2. Player is down though.
I think he either cramped or twisted his ankle. He slipped in trying to press the ball, and I think he might be finished. Coach is subbing someone on. That's possible injury and frustration all mixed up in one.
no indication the referee's going to call a foul or a card anybody. The player's just down. And Steve indicated it looks like he might have twisted an ankle or had a cramp. 2-0, our score.
So we have, they'll stop this for injury time, but there's really only 2 or 3 minutes left in the match. And it looks like it might be a hamstring and, like I said, a little bit of frustration and tiredness. Good thing is he's walking off. Maybe it's an ankle. I think it's an ankle.
Semifinal action, Oregon Open Cup, second annual Oregon Open Cup. Winner of this game on to the championship game. PDX leads now 2-0. There you go. When you're helping a player off, you want to get on the side that he's not putting any pressure down on.
That's Chewy, but I think he played the number 9 most of the game for them. And big, strong player. Unfortunately, he either hurt his knee or his ankle. I'm not certain which.
Chewy Lopez.
Correct. Referee restarts the ball. That was just a friendly possession. Nick Evans has a tough touch. It's the first bad touch I've seen him take today. There's not much time. This game should be called with the restart. Maybe a minute or 2 left. And if you notice, PDX is just sitting with 4 guys home, trying to protect the ball.
Perrones now going to send everybody forward. Reverse the field.
Yeah, they've had 10 nice passes, switching the point of attack, trying to build on this, and we'll see if they can be rewarded. I would have liked to see them play this way the whole game. That allowed them to, play through the quality of this gentleman right here, the Zichi. Great ball through, tough luck. Player just didn't see it quick enough, but Storlie has it covered. But that was a nice build-up. You could see with the quality of these younger guys, and they certainly deserve to be here. They need to play with a little more confidence, like that last build-up.
Taichi Salkamuzu, the player from Japan. He's played a good game.
Very good game. Kept possession most of the time. Shows himself in a lot of great angles. Just needs more of the ball. Look at his work ethics. Tracking back. Scardino has pace though. He's one of the faster guys in the Pac-12.
Big collisions. Scardino goes down.
So Scardino, you can count on to go at a slant and take on players and try and beat them. Now we'll see he calls it the other way. He says I don't know what that call was. He says, Scardino beats the player, jumps to avoid the tackle, and he calls a foul on him. I've never seen that. And that's game.
That is the game. That's the end of the game. Our final score here from Capital City Soccer Complex. It is PDX Portland 2, Perrones nothing. A goal in each half for PDX. The goal in the first half by Nick Evans at the 31-minute mark. The goal in the second half of PK at the 60-minute mark by Jesse Garcia. And that's our final score, 2-0. Your final thoughts, Steve?
I think we got to watch what happens off the field here. There's players that are frustrated. I think that a young team that put together did a good job at at Perrones to try to compete without chemistry, without experience. You got the result that was deserved. PDX FC kept possession. They focused on their quality, building through the wings, building and breaking through the lines, spreading the ball out, and were able to rest some pivotal players and get the result. I'd like to see them. They're going to need to be more lethal attacking-wise to break down the next team in the final. But I think the player's in the right place. Many of these players, like Daniel Saez, has not played with some of these other guys, so they're still building their chemistry too. But a very good game plan by Coach Luke Babson. They executed it and got the result.
We'll be back in a few minutes with the second semifinal. That's OVF Alliance versus Epuerto Perrones. I want to thank our broadcast crew, our director, Jim Thompson, our audio engineer, Alva Myers, my broadcast partner, Steve Storlie, our producer, Ryan Johnson. We're Oregon Sports Beat. By the way, I do want to remind you that the Northwest Futsal Derby is going to be coming up August the 15th in Portland. The best futsal teams in Oregon and Washington square off in another outdoor setting to crown the regional champion. For more information, go to www.oregonsportsbeat/NWFD. Okay, so PDX advances. We'll bring you to the second semifinal game coming up in just a minute. I'm Dave Hall. Stick around and we'll get you to the second semifinal game.